it's Sierra. Welcome back to the vlog channel. So before I get into my regular vlog, my day in New York, I want to answer a question, talk about a topic that I get asked every single time I'm in New York. I get like dozens of DMs and comments asking me about this, and that is how I buy my Broadway tickets and how to get cheap Broadway tickets, how I manage to see so many shows when I'm here. So I'm just gonna kind of go through everything in this one video. So whether you just find it interesting or you actually want to use this as a resource for buying Broadway tickets in New York, hopefully either way, it is helpful to you. So took some notes on my phone last night. I was up till like 3 in the morning just like thinking about Broadway shows. I made a list of every show I've ever seen, and then I made a list of like the different ways to buy Broadway tickets. So, okay. So if you don't care about getting a specific show, if there's not a specific show that you absolutely have to see, my #1 recommendation is to do the TKTS booth. This is the big red box office that's under the staircase in Times Square. So you wait in line for this box office and you can buy day of tickets anywhere from a 30% to 60% discount. Now the thing is, it's day of, so you don't get to plan very far in advance. You don't get to choose your seat. They give you the best available, and it can be a pretty hefty line. But what a lot of people don't know is the TKTS booth has multiple locations. It's not just Times Square. So the Times Square location is obviously the most well-known, so it is the most popular. That's where all the tourists go. But there are 2 more locations, and the closest one other than Times Square is at Lincoln Center near Central Park. Now, this ticket booth will be anywhere from like a 10 to 20 minute wait for a nighttime show, whereas in Times Square you could wait up to 2 hours. So if you don't mind the walk or you're staying closer to Central Park, I would definitely recommend getting tickets at the Lincoln Center location. And what's great is they also do next day matinee tickets. So you can go there the day before, get a matinee ticket for like a Wednesday or a Sunday, and then you at least have a little bit more time to plan. Now another thing is, like I said, you don't get to choose from all the shows out there. It's what tickets are available. So if you're trying to see Hamilton, probably not a good idea to get those at TKTS because it's just not gonna happen. But a good way to get a realistic idea of what shows you could potentially see is to download the TKTS app, and you can peruse what shows are available. So usually a few weeks before I go to New York, I will every day check the app to see what's available for that day to kind of give myself a better idea of what I could potentially be able to see. So like today when I opened up the app, I was really surprised to see a Dear Evan Hansen listing because every day that I had been checking leading up to this trip, there were not any tickets for Dear Evan Hansen. So I was tempted, but that's not what I ended up doing. So I just got my tickets for a Broadway show today. I'm seeing the matinee of The Band's Visit, and the line took me about 22 minutes from when the line opened to when I actually got to the front to buy my tickets. So not bad. If you wait in the one for the evening show, it'll sometimes be more like an hour to an hour and a half. So if you can, matinees are a great way to get discounted tickets at TKTS without waiting forever. So I am center orchestra, 10th row, and I got the ticket for 40% off. I paid $97, so originally these would have been closer to about $200. So I was able to get tickets for my first choice show. That was The Band's Visit, and I still paid a lot of money. I paid $100 for the ticket, but the thing is, if I would have bought a $100 ticket in advance for The Band's Visit, I would have been back in the nosebleeds, but getting it from TKTS, I'm in the center orchestra. I'm like 8 rows back. So in the end, usually you kind of end up paying like not significantly discounted, but better tickets than you would have had if you paid that price in advance. There's also a separate line for plays and musicals. The play only line is much shorter. There's rarely anyone in this line. So if you are going to see a play, don't wait in the long line, hop in the play line and you'll get your tickets like that. Also, I just learned about this on my last trip and I was so mad I didn't know earlier, but TKTS has a fast pass line. So if you bought a ticket there in the past 7 days and you waited in the line, you can cut the entire line for another ticket within that 7-day period. So for example, today I waited in the line in the morning and got my ticket for The Band's Visit. When I go back tomorrow to get another ticket for a nighttime show, I'll be able to just go right to the front of the line without waiting. So definitely save those ticket stubs if you're planning on seeing more than one show, and then you really only have to wait in line once. Okay. So that's pretty much it for TKTS. That's one of the most common questions I get. That's how I usually buy my Broadway tickets because it's convenient. you get better seats and you get a pretty big discount. So another way to get very, very inexpensive Broadway tickets is to enter the lotteries. So most Broadway shows do lotteries online. It used to be like a thing where they would draw the names in person, but that got a little crazy. So now pretty much every Broadway show has an online lottery for that day's shows. So last night I entered the lotteries for Anastasia, Dear Evan Hansen, The Band's Visit, and My Fair Lady. I didn't win any of them, but definitely I'm gonna keep entering them while I'm here because I might as well try. So they're usually for the next day's show, so the night before. So like the day before you come to New York, enter those lotteries and then do it every day while you're here, and you just might get lucky. There is a playbill.com article that lists the way that they do lotteries for every single show, as well as links to the lottery page. So I will have that in the description. It's a great resource and they update it as new shows come out. So definitely check that out if you want to enter lotteries. Another option is an app called TodayText. It's kind of similar to TKTS. I have personally never used TodayText, but I know a lot of other people really like it because you don't have to physically go wait in a location. So I'll have that linked in the description as well. Again, I don't have personal experience with that, but I know a lot of other people really like it. Okay, so then we have Rush. Doing Rush before a show is basically where you line up at the ticket booth when it opens. Well, usually people get there like hours before it opens, and see if you can get a Rush ticket. These tickets are one of the best ways to get really inexpensive Broadway tickets. Sometimes they can be as low as like $30, but the thing is you have to wait a long time and there's no guarantee that you're gonna get a ticket. I used to do Rush a lot when I was in late high school and early college because a lot of theaters in San Diego have student Rush, but I have only rushed a Broadway show once, and it was Waitress, and the tickets were relatively easy to get, so I didn't have to like camp out like you might for Dear Evan Hansen or Hamilton or Book of Mormon. But those tickets do exist, so if there is a popular show that you want to see and you don't have a ticket, you can always try to rush. That playbill.com article that I talked about earlier also lists the rush policies for every show because it does vary from show to show. So again, check out that article. Okay, now the cheapest, absolute cheapest way to get Broadway tickets, if you have very limited budget, try going for standing room. Standing room is exactly what it sounds like. You are standing in the back of the theater. You have a quote unquote seat that's just kind of like a little allocated space for you to stand in. And these tickets are very inexpensive. You can only get them the day of. So you line up just like you would for Rush, but you say that you want standing room. This is probably your best option to see a show that is totally sold out and you don't have advanced tickets for. So for example, when I saw the original Broadway cast of Hamilton, I saw it about 3 months after it opened, so it was very, very popular. And I ran into a friend of mine who lives in New York and did community theater with me back in San Diego, and she had gotten into the standing room. Her and her roommate had been trying for like weeks and weeks, and they finally got in. So standing room, very inexpensive, not the most comfortable or luxurious experience, and not guaranteed tickets, but it's worth a shot. Okay, so the last way to buy tickets is the clear, obvious way, and that's to buy tickets in advance online. Now the thing is, there are a lot of ticket scammers out there, and there are a lot of people who, you know, resell tickets and mark up the value, and that profit margin when they mark it up isn't going to the theater, that's just going in some guy's pocket. So I highly recommend just buying your tickets through the official website of that show. Almost all Broadway shows are either through Ticketmaster or Telecharge. So if it's not through one of those sites, it's probably not the legit way to get it. It's just the best way to do it is buying it through the actual show itself, because then they are making the profit off of it, and ultimately that's what we want to do, is support theater and support Broadway shows. And then also, you know it's legit, you know exactly what you're getting, and if there are any problems with like billing or you end up needing to reschedule for a different show, then you can easily make that change. So like for example, I bought my ticket for tomorrow for Come From Away in advance. I originally bought it for Thursday. No, I originally bought it for Friday, but then I ended up being busy with Generation Beauty on Friday, so I was able to call and move it to Thursday without having to pay an extra fee. If I had bought it through a like secondhand retailer or a reseller, I wouldn't have been able to do that. The best way to make sure that you are actually buying through the official website is to go to the website of the show you want to see. So like I went to the website for Come From Away, click on buy tickets, and it will take you to their official ticket sale page. So that is pretty much everything on how I buy my Broadway tickets. My dad and I are just about to set out. I'm gonna see The Band's Visit for the matinee, and I'm seeing Come From Away tonight. He has work, so we're gonna go get lunch before we head out to that. Let's go. Da 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 da! The fruits of my stage door labor. I have my signed playbill. I loved this show. I went into this performance completely blind. I didn't know any of the music other than the song that they performed at the Tony Awards, and I could not be more happy that I went in completely blind because I was just blown away, and it was a wonderful performance. I think my favorite part about the show though was the music. The music in this musical was unlike anything else I've ever heard on Broadway. It was so different and so unique, and I loved it so much. So the basic plot of the show is that a band from Egypt accidentally ends up in an Israeli town instead of the place that they were supposed to go to play their performance. That's basically the plot of the show. But because of that, the music is this wonderful blend of Egyptian, Arabic music and Israeli music, and it is just wonderful. I can't wait to download the soundtrack and just listen to it nonstop. Katrina Lenk, I believe she won the Tony Award for Best Leading Female in a Musical. I'm pretty sure she won it. I mean, the band's visit had like pretty much a Tony sweep. I think they won like 10 Tonys this year, and well deserved. It was very, very good. But her performance, like her acting and just her stage presence is so powerful, and I'm really, really glad I got to see her in this. This stage door was also incredibly chill. It wasn't crazy at all. Also, this audience was like the best behaved audience I've ever been at. I get so annoyed when people have bad theater etiquette. Like last night at Mean Girls, the people next to me were talking for like the whole first 20 minutes, and I was like, can you not? Can you just not? And this audience was much older. I don't know if it's because it was a matinee or if the band's visit just has like an older demographic, but there were a lot of elderly people there, and they were very quiet and respectful and clapped at the right times and laughed at the right times, and it made the performance like so much more enjoyable for me, you know, when you have a good audience. And I made 2 stage door friends. I love making stage door friends. There was a girl next to me from Germany and another girl from China, and the 3 of us just like got to talking the whole time and took pictures for each other. It was awesome. I just think it's such like an awesome little community, like the Broadway fandom. Like, it's a very small community, but it's very tight-knit, and it was just such an awesome show, such an awesome experience, and I am more convinced than ever that I am through and through a theater kid still at heart for life. Even though it has been, I think, 3 years since I performed, I still have that like theater kid being in my soul, and seeing live musicals, especially when it's on Broadway, is honestly like one of the most special things to me and one of my favorite experiences in the world. So sometimes I feel like guilty about vlogging about it so much when I'm in New York, because I know not everyone cares about it, but like this is something that is so critical to the core of who I am as a person, is musicals and Broadway and performing, and that literally like shaped who I am as a person growing up, and I truly believe it still does. So getting to share that with you guys and getting to document it is a really special thing for me, and I love seeing Broadway shows, especially when it's the original Broadway cast. It's such a cool experience. I love stage dooring and meeting other theater kids. I'm just such a fangirl when it comes to Broadway. I can't think of anything I would rather do with my time and my money and my energy than save up for trips to New York and see Broadway shows. It is truly my favorite thing. So with that being said, I am seeing a second show today. It is currently 4:17 and my show is at 7, so I'm thinking I'll go get dinner at like 5:45, get to the theater by like 6:30. So I have about an hour and a half to hang out here, and I think I'm gonna edit a vlog. Hey guys, very grumpy Sierra coming to you from the hotel bed. So I was just editing on my laptop. I had literally only been using it for like 10 minutes. The screen starts flickering and it goes black. So then I was on the phone with Apple tech support for like an hour trying all these different resets and things. And keep in mind, I have 3 days of vlog footage partially edited on that computer, not backed up. And I know that's my fault, but like, it's just the way it is. I didn't back it up, I was stupid. So I finally, like after an hour on the phone with the Apple tech support, they're like, okay, you just have to bring it in. So they made me an appointment for tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Apple store here in New York. So this is just really sucky and unexpected, and I've never had a problem with my laptop before. And of course it happens when I'm in freaking New York City, not planning on having to deal with anything like that. So I need to get out of this bad mood that I'm in now, because I have a show to go to tonight and I just need to be positive about that. So I think I'm gonna leave here pretty soon, get dinner, go buy another memory card for my camera, watch Come From Away, and then come back here and try not to think about the fact that my laptop might be broken. Stage door for Come From Away. I am waiting on the last few actors, but pretty much everyone has come out. I texted my dad after the show and I was like, Dad, I think this is my new favorite Broadway show. And he's like, your new favorite Broadway show is whatever the last Broadway show you saw was. And I feel like that is very true, because I've said that about all 3 shows I've seen on this trip. I said that about Mean Girls. Well, I didn't say it was my new favorite. I said it was one of my favorites. I said that about Band's Visit earlier today, but I really, really mean it about Come From Away. It was so good. I enjoyed every second of it. I want to see it again. I want to take Steven to see it. I want to take my dad to see it. I just think everyone should see the show. It's that good. They just announced that is it for the stage door. So I got 9 of the 12 signatures. It's an ensemble show, so there is 12 people in the cast. Every single one of them plays like 3 or 4 roles. So it's a really cool like group effort in that sense. Like everyone has a big part. Everyone has a million different things to do. Every single actor in the show has to be super diverse and super versatile because they have to play so many different roles. But yeah, I really, really loved this show. I'm so glad I got my ticket in advance and I had a great seat. And oh my gosh, guys, I need to take my glasses off because it's reflecting all the lights from New York City. But I always wear my glasses to the theater so that I have the best possible vision to watch Broadway shows. 10 out of 10 would recommend it. Definitely my favorite one I've seen on this trip. Definitely, I would say in my top 3 Broadway shows, for sure top 3. And I expected to like it. I didn't expect to love it like this. Oh my gosh, I love this show so much. I'm gonna be meeting up with my dad right now, and we are going to a Broadway piano bar. So like a karaoke bar where they have like singing wait staff, and then also you can volunteer to sing. So I don't know, maybe you guys will get to see me belt out some show tunes. We'll see. Outside, always looking in good. Never being more than I've always been. Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. Somebody find me. Somebody love. Woo! I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. Never bother me anyway. Me, after 4 vodka crams, about to sing on my own, living my best life. All my life, I've only been pretending. Go on turning. The world is full of happiness that I have never known.
Yes, you do. Wait, do you?
I love you. My own. My dad and I were just saying, that was my dream come true. I already love karaoke. Add in show tunes. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. I told my dad, I'm like, I think I peaked belting out show tunes in a piano bar with my people. And as I was walking out, one of the guys was like, do you have Dear Evan Hansen under your belt? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, because you're perfect for all those female roles. I was like, oh, bless. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this vlog here because I'm not gonna lie, I had a few drinks. So I hope you enjoyed seeing me belt out some show tunes. I will definitely be going back to that piano bar every time I'm in New York. It's called Don't Tell Mama. Not sponsored or anything. I just found it on Yelp, but that was probably the highlight of my trip. So thanks for watching. Thanks, Dad, for doing that with me. I think we had a blast.
That was great.
And I will see you guys tomorrow with another New York vlog. Bye.
Bye.